Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Windrum and I am founder of WTF, Where's the Funding for Lung Cancer campaign. It's a social media campaign that I started inspired by my mom, who has stage 4 lung cancer, and no, she has never smoked. That's a whole nother story. What I'm here to talk about today is something that should be of interest and very concerning to anyone who raises money for cancer research and gives to the American Cancer Society, or anyone who participates in a Relay for Life event. I am all about accountability, and I have been talking with the American Cancer Society for the last year, trying to get some answers to some pretty basic questions. I am a former reporter and am using my skills as a former reporter, PR practitioner, social media addict, to bring about accountability and understanding, because we need to know where our dollars are going. And I think that that is a fundamental question that any organization should be able to answer. And the answers have not been forthcoming. So I want to share with you the information that I have, and I'm going to make all of my interviews available to you. I want everyone to be able to see how the interviews and the back and forth email communication has developed, and what answers we have received and what answers we have not yet received. But before I do that, I really want to talk about something that really upset me and confused me and set me back. I actually felt like I was on another planet, to be honest. I had a 2-hour interview with Dr. Otis Brawley, who is the American Cancer Society Chief Medical Officer. I was very respectful and really appreciated the time that he took with me to answer some of the questions that I had. Again, it was a 2-hour interview. It was on Good Friday, and I really appreciated his time. What I did find out from that interview, like I said, after I hung up the phone, is that I felt like not just lung cancer advocacy groups, but almost all foundations are on a completely different planet from the American Cancer Society. And before I get into all the direct questions and everything that I had, this video, the purpose of this is to kind of set it up, because what was really bothersome to me is the tone and manner in which the interview that we had took. And I have to be very honest with you. Yes, I'm an advocate. I'm a former reporter. I'm very passionate about what I do. But I also know when I have somebody that can give me information, I will ask questions when I absolutely need to, but let the interviewee speak. And I didn't have any trouble with Dr. Brawley doing that. And in fact, that's really, I'm just actually struggling for words to describe this, because I'm asking him some very basic questions, which I will share with you later on. But how does the American Cancer Society funding work? Can you actually donate to specific cancers? Yes, you can. No, you can't. Where does the money go? It's all confusing still at this point, and I'll get to that. But as we were talking and going through some of my questions, Dr. Brawley became very, I would almost say, I don't know if belligerent might be overdoing it, but a very callous and assertive tone. And out of the blue said to me that the Lung Cancer Alliance, and this is a quote from my notes that I've taken, spends more time criticizing about not funding lung cancer and should be trying to get more dollars for all cancers. For all cancers. Now, again, this came out of the blue. And I said, okay, well, that's what a lot of the other foundations do. Each foundation is trying to get money for their cause. Well, obviously we know that the American Cancer Society, your money goes into one general pot. Okay, so that's fine. And I said, okay, let's let's explore that a little bit. Why do you feel this way? And he said that, and first and second of all, you have to understand that there is a ton of politics behind all of this. And what I'm trying to do is figure it all out. It's maddening. It's probably almost impossible to do, but there are a ton of politics behind every single thing that's happening here, that happens behind nonprofits' doors. Everyone plays a part in the confusion. But right now, I'm focusing on the interview with Dr. Otis Brawley. He went on to say that the Lung Cancer Alliance is not advocating good science, just science. And he also said that lung cancer has not been ignored, and he truly believes that, even though it is the #1 cancer killer and the least funded, although he has no explanation for the 15% of people like my mom who are getting lung cancer who have never smoked. No explanation as to why this is happening, other than to say these people have bad luck. I kid you not, that is exactly what he said to me. The 15% of people that he cannot explain why they're getting lung cancer, like my mother, like Jill Costello, who was 22 years old, athlete, no history of lung cancer in her family, no smokers, bad luck. That one blew me away. Absolutely. Again, he said, some foundations are doing a disservice, and some don't lobby for increased dollars for cancer. Again, how many other foundations do we have out there that are lobbying for their specific mission? Now, this wouldn't be so confusing if we understood, I think, maybe how the American Cancer Society works better. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but we're getting there. But then another comment that came again very negatively and very again just very angrily. He said again that lung cancer groups do not argue for general cancer dollars, and he said the Lung Cancer Alliance and all the other foundations are just saying screw breast cancer, we just want money for lung cancer, end quote. I find this absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. I mean, this is the chief medical officer at the American Cancer Society, who is supposed to be finding a cure for cancer. I don't care which cancer it is. But if the chief medical officer has this kind of an attitude and a chip on his shoulder about one cancer, two cancers, any cancer, that's a problem. And he also said that prostate advocates are kind of in the same boat with lung cancer advocates, as they're focusing more on the emotion and not a lot on the policies, and getting in trouble with emotion when it comes to the advocating and lobbying efforts. So they're not doing it right. I'll get into it later on about who he thinks is doing it right, but that's another video, another 10 videos down the line. But again, to sum it up, screw breast cancer, because he says lung cancer advocates just want money for lung cancer, and they are not arguing for general cancer dollars. tell me who is doing that. I was told that Komen is now giving some money to general cancer research. That's fantastic. They've worked very, very hard. They're probably able to do that by now, and I understand the science behind how many different kinds of cancers can overlap. You can find a breakthrough within one cancer or one grant over here that you thought might benefit lung cancer or breast cancer when in fact it might help out thyroid cancer. There's definitely a crossover, and having that general research funding is critical. But what we have here is an attitude problem for number one. Number two, lack of information. Number three, complete runaround. Complete runaround. And I'm not going to put up with it. Nobody should put up with it. So the purpose of this video is to let you know there's more coming down the pike. I have much more information and some answers to some of my questions. But I want the general cancer community out there to know this is the tone and manner in which the number one cancer killer and least funded cancer is being viewed. And why does that matter? Because if you want to actually do something about cancer, you have to, you absolutely have to attack lung cancer. You cannot ignore it any longer. You absolutely cannot. And again, I just I'm speechless, obviously. I came well prepared to speak about this to you, but I know it sounds jumbled, but it's just very concerning and disconcerting to me, and I want you to know. And this kind of attitude, behavior, business operation, whatever you want to call it, cannot continue. Thank you.